and Zepbound, drinking on Mounjaro and drinking on Tirzepatide. Hi, beautiful friends. I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I have lost over 106 pounds the last 2 years of being on Mounjaro, Zepbound, and Tirzepatide. And on today's episode, let's break it down talking about alcohol. Now, full disclosure, I haven't had a lick of alcohol in 19 years. But I have 7 things that you may not have thought about, particularly with my free encouragement group, which I'll link down in the description link below, from other people's experience, strength, and hope, and also from my own scientific observations, of course. And so let's dive in. If you're drinking on GLP-1 medication, you need to know these things. Make sure you share this video with your bestie if they've also just started a GLP-1 with you, or if you're thinking about boozing it up. Okay, so number one, not even boozing it up, maybe just having a glass of wine after a long, hard day. Number one, you very well may not have thought of this, but you may feel alcohol a lot faster than you would have pre-GLP-1 medication. And so thinking, oh, I used to have 2 glasses of wine, or I would have a big, beautiful goblet, and now it's like a sip, and I'm like, woo! You very well may feel your effects a lot quicker than you think that you might. And so just keeping that in mind, that what it used to be like may not be, excuse me, what it's gonna be like now. Excuse me. Excuse me, as I'm joking, I'm still recovering from pneumonia. But I wasn't gonna miss today's episode, because this is one that I get asked so much talking about alcohol. And I do think it's something to note, different drinks between like hard liquor versus beer versus wine, like keeping that in mind too, that those very well may feel very differently for you, and just keeping that in the forefront of it. Number 2, your blood sugars very well, particularly, hello, if you're on Mounjaro, it's because you have type 2 diabetes, typically. It was prescribed off-label, but a lot of that has changed now with Zepbound, which is FDA approval for sleep apnea and then also for obesity management. And so it's the same thing as Mounjaro. Same thing. So just keeping that in mind, I know for my blood sugars, my blood panels, completely different. Completely different. And so keeping that in mind, if you're having something that's alcohol that is full of sugar, that very well may affect your body, and you may get the shaky wakies, or you may just feel more lightheaded. You may physically feel differently because of the blood sugar effects with it. Particularly if you have type 2 diabetes, please be mindful. Be demure, be mindful of just keeping that in mind, of one glass very well may be very different for you. Number 3, thing to think about with drinking and with Zepbound or Mounjaro or Tirzepatide compound, and I'm even gonna lump in my Wegovy friends and semaglutide compound friends with this too, is side effects. What are the most common side effects, my friends? If you've watched my channel for any length, over almost 600 videos on GLP-1 medication, I talk about it over and over and over again. There's 4 most common side effects that are very general for a lot of people to have: gastrointestinal, diarrhea, constipation, nausea, vomiting. Those side effects with drinking may very well be enhanced. And do you want to potentially be yickety yakking on the side? Yeah, I'm not trying to laugh. I'm not trying to laugh. I'm serious. This is a very serious topic. We're keeping a very serious topic here. No, I'm like drooling. But keeping in mind, or someone had in my group, they told the funniest story. It was like a year and a half ago. This is why I love my group so much. It's linked in the description link below. It's a private Facebook group, totally free. My gift to you for being part of the Countess of Shopping community. Somebody's like, I was drinking, they had 2 glasses of wine, or I forget what the alcohol content was, and they went to go toot, and it was not a toot. And they were in a fancy outfit with their partner. And so just keeping that in mind, diarrhea, constipation, nausea, vomiting, totally, I literally just drooled on myself. It really made me laugh when I read it then, and still a year and a half later, it makes me laugh today. Farts are funny. Farts really, in today's day and age of where life can get really serious, side effects can be more enhanced with alcohol. If you're having something super sugary, and this can apply, by the way, with any kind of sugary foods too, not just with alcohol in general, but just keeping in mind there are side effects. And if you're having something that's like, just like if you had something that was super fried food, would you not expect to have some sort of motion in the ocean with your tum-tum? Like, your tummy may interact differently with that. And so keeping that in mind, one of my absolute favorite things, I don't know how I take a right turn off of that at all. I'm trying to figure out how to right turn. I don't. One of my favorite things to help me with my side effects that I've used for a long, long time now is BIOptimizers, their magnesium breakthrough. I'll link it in the description link below. It has 7 types, seven of magnesium in it to help with, it helps me with side effects. Obviously, before taking any sort of supplements, talk to your own healthcare provider. This is what the pills look like, but it's got 7 types of magnesium in one. And did you know that more than 70% of people are magnesium deficient? It's one of the things a lot of people are magnesium deficient in. If you don't like pills, they do also have a powder format. It's magnesium breakthrough, but just in powder format with 2 different types of flavors. They're really good. I just prefer the pills because after I brush my teeth, I can just take them with my mouth guard in, right in my little nightside table, but it helps me. I don't have a constipation problem. I don't. This is very TMI, but I wake up and I go to the bathroom and I have no bowel issues. So many people, so many people, when they switch over to magnesium breakthrough have said the same thing for me. They're like, I don't really have sleep issues anymore. That Zepbound insomnia, gone. The constipation, gone. And for me, helps so much with muscle cramps. And now that I'm lifting too, just with the muscle recovery, so helpful for muscles. Anxiety, I mean, just across the board for sleep. I mean, all of those reasons, I'm like, I'll just take the sleep. If you just took the sleep bucket right there, I'd be like, check, queen. But the fact that it does help with constipation, it is a winner chicken dinner. Use the discount code QUEEN to get an extra discount off of it. They do also have bundle specials, and they have a ton of other of my favorite products that I love talking about, but this is like hands down. Thousands of you have also agreed with me. It's not just me saying, it's thousands of other people too. But so get your discount, queen. Go ahead, or king, take advantage of those. But the discount code is queen, QUEEN. But side effects may be different with drinking alcohol that you may not have thought about, and just keeping that in mind, particularly if you're having gas. Don't be like the person in my free encouragement group who it wasn't a toot. It wasn't a toot. Or with vomiting or being nauseous, just being like really nauseous. Who wants that? Not me. Number 4, the taste of alcohol. There are so many studies done. I want to stick my tongue out, but I feel like it's very white. I don't think I did my tongue scraper this morning. The taste. There's a video I did called Ozempic tongue. It's a whole thing. It's linked in my playlist down below about how our taste buds completely change on GLP-1 medication. Not for everybody, but for a lot of people, myself included. And the taste of things definitely have changed. And so the way, if you remember maybe your favorite glass of wine or your favorite tequila or whatever, your favorite beer, it may not taste the same. It very well may have a very different taste for you after being on GLP-1 medication for a couple of weeks or a couple of months. So keeping that in mind, that if you're wanting that same flavoring, it very well may not be there. The taste of alcohol very well may change for you, and keeping that in mind. Number 5, with drinking alcohol with Zepbound, drinking alcohol with Mounjaro, is do not drive. Not that you ever would drinking alcohol, but in particular, do not drive at all. Because like I said, going back to number 1, you may feel those effects a lot quicker than you think you did. You think you maybe had 1 glass of wine. Your body very well may be interacting very differently than it would have previously. Particularly if you've lost weight. If you've lost some lbs on there, the way that your body's going to break that down, in addition to the, excuse me, it's one of my side effects is I get reflux like that. One of the you've lost weight, so your body mass is going to be very different, that in general, but B, with the way that the alcohol is interacting with your insulin and just reacting with the gastric delay that it's having. We have the gastric delay. It's slowing down our digestion is different than it was pre-GLP-1. So keeping all of that in mind, do not ever get behind a wheel of a car. Not that you never ever would anyways in general with drinking alcohol, but being super mindful for you or your partner. And this goes the same if you and your partner go out to dinner or whatever, and just keeping this in mind, do not ever drive, because very well your interactions for your body very well will be different. Number 6, you may not feel the same. I know, and I mentioned this earlier about blood sugars. There was a noticeable difference for me with my blood sugars, but also with my interactions with my current medications. I've had to change the dose of my medications. They're different because I've lost 106 pounds. And so and many people have had this too, where I had a pocket of where I felt very dizzy when I would stand up. Part of that was my blood sugars. Part of that was blood pressure changes. And so keeping that in mind, if you're on blood pressure medication and just in general, you may not feel the same way also with just that component, and then adding in alcohol to that very well may make you feel dizzier, and your balance very well may be off or different from it in general. You may notice it because of the alcohol, but it may just be something that's existing previous to that. I didn't notice that I was so dizzy frequently until a couple months ago. Someone in my group actually was talking. This is why I love my free group. Somebody in my group was talking about it and was like, I'm super, super dizzy standing up a lot of the time. And I'm like, so am I. I'm frequently dizzy standing up a lot of the time too. When I stand up, I have to take a minute to like collect myself. So I've talked about it with my primary healthcare provider, had an updated appointment with them, and talked about my blood sugars, and also for my blood pressure too. So just keeping that in mind as well. In conjunction, you may not feel the same that you used to because of your blood sugars and also the blood pressure component of it as well. Particularly if you're having like red wine or things like that, if your face is getting flushed and things like that. Number 7, one of the cool things about GLP-1 medication that we are seeing that science is just on the cutting edge of, which I find so fascinating, particularly if you do have in your genetic makeup any sort of alcoholism or addiction components, is how GLP-1 medications are getting tested for alcoholism and drug addiction, and how alcoholics, it's cutting down on people who are alcoholics drinking as much, and looking into using that for alcoholic treatment, for alcoholism. And I find that so fascinating. I know in general, we've talked about this a lot too here on the Countess of Shopping YouTube channel, which is why you want to click that like and subscribe button if you haven't already done so. I know you're watching right now and you haven't clicked subscribe. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Don't wait anymore. So the alcoholism component of it is people just don't want to drink as much on GLP-1 medication. They're studying this, but I can tell you just straight out the gate that people don't want to smoke as much, shop as much, like those addictive type personalities, shopping, drinking. I'm sure there's other bedroom activities as well that probably have changed for some people if they have that compulsive nature. That probably also as well, like the addictive type component or that part of the brain, definitely there's a change. And so you may just not want to drink. You just may not want to. And that's totally cool. If you want to join my train, I'm on the Sip Sip Hooray train, and then also on my roommates. I've got my 2 favorite tumblers that I'm obsessed with. They're linked on my Amazon shopping list down below. Completely obsessed. You just don't want alcohol. You just don't even want alcohol at all. But in terms of alcoholism treatment, no, if you haven't heard that before, I've done other breaking news stories on those and Zepbound news articles on it, that is absolutely getting tested now for drug addiction, alcoholism, but there's also, take that to the side too, with people who smoke, shopping addictions, and all the other types of addictions as well, gambling, stuff like that. So we're living in a very exciting time. It's amazing what we don't know also about the brain changes that are happening. In addition to the gut changes, the brain changes that are happening too, but you just may not want alcohol in general. And if you do, you may be like, oh, I had literally a half of a glass and I was like, I'm good. I'm really, really good. And so then maybe you have something else. And that's what I always talk about too, is having another plan B if you're going to a party. I talk about this a lot. Over the last 2 years, I've now gone through 2 holidays, 2 birthdays, 2 summer vacations. I've gone through it. I've gone through it all now twice. The blessing of that is, okay, well then finding other strategies that are fun, right? Like, there's so much chitter chatter about how people sometimes come off GLP-1 medication because the pleasure of food is not there, or even the pleasure of drinking, and they want to have that pleasure back. My thing is, why not just find a different substitute for it? For me, I am obsessed with making my electrolyte drinks. I love doing that. That for me is like very pleasurable, very fun. When I'm on vacation or in a party atmosphere, having soda water with a lime in a beautiful wine goblet. When we go to Ruth's Chris for Thanksgiving every year, I'm always like, please leave the wine glass. I would like sparkling water in it with a squeezed lime on it, using fruit garnishes, lemons or limes. I love limes. I'm obsessed. Or oranges, like big slices of orange wedges on there. Like, there's a lot that you can make beautiful cucumber spa water. Like, there's a lot that you can do, particularly now in the day and age. Like, I just saw, who was it? Spider-Man. Tom Holland just came out with a non-alcoholic beer. Like, there's a lot of non-alcohol options that you can have too as a substitute in general as well. That is amazing. Like, that is just as fabulous. So know that. And for me, I love coffees. I'm like a big coffee. I love like that for me, the bouginess of that. Like I said, I haven't had alcohol in 19 years. I used to be very bougie into wine and all of that. Now I'm bougie into coffee. But people are like, what kind of coffee? I'm like, Starbucks. Like, it's not like, I guess it's not that bougie then. It's really not. But I do love like the whole process and the whole routine and culture of having coffee. My husband and I both, like, that is our thing. Like, we're like, we get very excited in the morning about morning coffee, afternoon coffee, and then sometimes like on a weekend, if we're gonna have a decaf, he'll have like an espresso or whatever. Like the whole culture of coffee for me, there's been a shifting very much with GLP-1 medication. Like I said, I haven't had a drink in 19 years, but the shifting into coffee culture for me has been very fun. And so that's the point that I'm trying to make. It took me a while to get around the bend to get to it. The point that I'm trying to make is there something else that you can get into that you would really enjoy, that you would find fun? And for me, coffee culture is that. I love that. I love my waters, like my 40-ounce tumblers. Like, I just love that. Sparkling waters, I'm very much a sparkling water connoisseur. I love me a Pellegrino in a glass bottle with a lime wedge. Like, there's just certain things that I very much have shifted over to that bring me so much pleasure and joy just as much as alcohol would. And even the same thing along the lines of food, of that endorphin rush that I would get previously. I just don't have that anymore. I just don't with GLP-1 medication. We went out on Friday. No, Friday was Valentine's Day. It was Saturday. One of our favorite restaurants is in a casino because they have the best oysters. They have the best and I live in rural Virginia. Hello, like landlocked. They have the best oysters, and the way that they prepare it is the best where I live without having to go into DC or like Northern Virginia. And so anyways, we went there and there's a casino, and it was fun gambling, but I used to find that so fun. It was really, I was like, I kind of would rather go home and watch Downton Abbey. Y'all, I know I'm like 15 years behind on Downton Abbey. I just got into it. I'm like, is this as good as Bridgerton? Tell me in the comments below. Is Bridgerton as good as Downton Abbey? Like, I am obsessed. And all of our UK beauties that are watching, I love our UK family. I'm like thinking about you guys as I'm watching Downton Abbey. I'm like, oh my gosh. Anyways, I now say things to my husband like, well, that's ill-bred because of Downton Abbey. I'm 15 years late. I know, I understand. But all of this to say, is there something else, the point that I'm trying to make, is there something else that you can substitute in instead? Or having non-alcoholic drinks. Like for me, sparkling water is just as exciting. Having beautiful stem glasses to use is just as exciting. And really having really good conversation. It's amazing to me of how much my personality had to evolve without having to rely on alcohol to be interesting and fun and funny. Some people can't do it. It cracks me up, actually. I'm like, okay, you're not funny at all without having alcohol. And like being able to rely on your personality without having a stitch of alcohol, it is very interesting to see who can carry that, who can carry the cojones of that or not on like a Friday. And maybe I'm not as fun. Maybe I'm just not. I think I'm fun though. My mom says I'm fun. My mom says I'm pretty and I'm fun too. That joke fell flat. So apparently maybe I'm not really as funny as I think I am. But I love you guys so super much. Let me know down in the comments if you're having something else. If you're new, first and foremost, so welcome. We're so glad you're here. On countessofshopping.com, if you guys have noticed, we're slowly making changes next week. I have a huge photo shoot. We're doing a massive uplift of countessofshopping.com, my website. That we are launching to be huge just as much as YouTube is with daily videos. We'll have daily articles over there. I'm really excited for that. The photos on there are me over 100+ pounds overweight, which is why I'm having this new photo shoot, which is crazy to get updated photos. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be, we've already started launching articles on there, but even more so of like science articles, but also like lifestyle and the science behind it too. The marrying of both, like how I do over here on YouTube as well. So, and our new challenge in our free encouragement group will start tomorrow. So if you're not in that free group, make sure you do. And also the posting on that, sometimes people ask about posting. It's usually every 24 hours I put posts in. So know that I'm the only one that runs that group. I don't have help on that group. I intentionally don't. I used to have a staff of over 800 people with my old dog walking company. And when I had my Amazon Live 24/7 channel, I don't have any team members, and that's by design. My business coach tells me every day I need to, and I'm like, nope, I will not ever, never say never, but never. So that group is run solely by me, just FYI. So when people are like, why is the admin? I'm like, hi, it's me. I'm the admin. It's me. But that is one of the reasons why I love that group so much, is because I'm in there. I'm up in it. So next week, not next week, tomorrow, there'll be a new challenge that will get issued too, which is going to be fun. And my weekly email newsletter comes out on Mondays and Thursdays. Because of the holiday, it will come out on tomorrow, Tuesday. So make sure you go ahead and snag your BIOptimizers Magnesium Breakthrough. Use the discount code QUEEN, QUEEN, order off their website. It's fabulous. And while you're there, if you want to get like their mushroom breakthrough and their protein breakthrough and all their other stuff, I am loving the Masszymes. Loving, loving, loving. And you guys had also, we had talked about their Barberine too. I've been testing that out as well. I have not talked about the Barberine yet because I'm still testing it. So like things that I know I'm like ride or die with, I'm obsessed. I've used this for over a year now. I'm trying to figure out how long. It's been longer than a year. It's amazing. And everyone else has said it's amazing too. It works fantastic. So I love you guys so super much. Our emoji of the day today is going to be a dolphin. Keep swimming, just keep swimming. So our emoji of the day is a dolphin. It tells me that you made it this far in the video. If you did, I want to get to know you better because I truly do care about you and I care about your successes and stumblings too. We have victories and we also have challenges, and I care about you and I'm really glad you're here. Your accountability question of the day: what are you doing today to move you closer to your goals? For me, it was I walked a mile today. I'm getting back into walking after having pneumonia. It's crazy windy here in Virginia. I walked a mile. I'm super proud of that, and I'm going to go lay back down. I'm still like, you can hear, I'm still like, still raspy. I had the best soft-boiled eggs today too, by the way, for protein. 3 large eggs, 210 calories. I understand the price of eggs right now is crazy. But man, it was good. I boiled them for 8 minutes and they were perfectly like ooey gooey, but also firm. It made my heart so happy. I was like super excited about that for my lunch. My sweet friends, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping. Count my blessings because life is delicious. I will see you tomorrow. Bye guys, love ya. Have a great day. Bye guys.